In the wake of multiple suspected terror attacks across the country, the FBI Director Kash Patel revealed that the Bureau was able to thwart holiday terror plots across 4 states this past December, including multiple ISIS plots under President Trump and Director Patel. The Bureau is once again committed to preventing violent crime and terrorism on our shores, and the results, they do speak for themselves. Last year, the U.S. saw a 112% increase in violent crime arrests, a 20% decrease in both homicides and robberies, over 6,000 child victims located, 1,700 child predators arrested, and 7 of the FBI's 10 most wanted criminals captured, all while saving taxpayers nearly $5 billion. But the real threat created by Joe Biden, over 12 million unvetted illegals from over 200 countries, many of those countries that have ties to terrorism, in light of 4 high-profile incidents since the start of the conflict in Iran. How concerned should Americans be? Are they going to trigger a sleeper cell that might be here? FBI Director Kash Patel here with more. I believe that was the most first of all, those numbers are astounding, and we'll put up more as we go through, this interview. The most preventable national security disaster in history. Known terrorists, murderers, rapists, child molesters, other violent criminals, cartel members, gang dealers, gang members, and drug dealers. And I'm wondering, do you believe that do we have known terrorists in the country because of Joe's open borders?
Sean, it's great to be here with you. Look, we had a record-setting year under President Trump, as you outlined, because he put the safety of Americans first. But we had a record-setting year because we had 34,000 violent offenders to arrest because the prior administration flooded America's streets with criminals, violent criminals. And what we need to focus on is how do we stop terrorist attacks like we did. This FBI stopped 4 attacks in this past December alone, from a sweeping bombing campaign in Southern California to an ISIS mass casualty event in Pennsylvania to a North Carolina man who was ISIS-inspired that wanted to shoot tons of people on New Year's Eve. That's just 4 in the month of December. Before that, we stopped the Pumpkin Day plot, where multiple individuals in multiple jurisdictions wanted to shoot people on Halloween. And just last week, 9 individuals were convicted of following and supporting a material terrorist organization in Antifa. So there's lots of crime, unfortunately, out there, and this FBI is after it. But last week's tremendous tragedy where a member of our military was killed in Norfolk by an individual who's being investigated for terrorism is a starking reminder of what we must do. That individual was convicted and sentenced to terrorism before, and no one bothered to denaturalize him and remove him from the country. But, Sean, here's what most Americans don't know. In the Trump Justice Department in the first administration, that individual, we sought a sentence of 240 months. The judge in that case downward departed and gave him nearly half of that time. Had the judge given the sentence that the Trump administration wanted, that individual would still be in prison and not have conducted that terror attack. But it goes to the more important point. We need stronger legislation to remove individuals from this country who want to do us harm. The FBI is always going to be standing on the watch, but we need a collaborative effort from the legislative branch to make sure criminals in this country are jettisoned from this country, especially if they violate the rights of the Constitution and American safety.
FBI Director, we now are at a point where the Democrats are holding up funding for the Department of Homeland Security. TSA agents I met over the weekend, they haven't been paid in 30 days. Secret Service impacted, FEMA impacted, Coast Guard impacted, and, of course, Homeland Security impacted. Does that make the country more dangerous, to be very blunt?
Look, DHS is some of our greatest partners in law enforcement. The Homeland Security Task Force, which is co-led by the FBI and DHS together, is critical for safeguarding this country. This task force is the one that went down to New Orleans and over the last 6 weeks, for the first time ever, made sure there was not a single homicide during Mardi Gras, and we dropped the murder rate 40 points in New Orleans. That's on President Trump's priorities of the Homeland Security Task Force, with FBI and DHS leading it, and right now half of it is not funded because we don't want to fund the security of this nation. President Trump has made it a priority, and these men and women are working without pay, and the FBI is going to continue working around the clock to do it. But we need to get them paid, and we need to get this country back on track to being safe.
I think you'll be pleased to hear this. I talked to one of the heroes in the case of the synagogue incident that happened in Michigan last week. This guy was a real hero on this day, and it was 6 weeks prior that your FBI actually worked with that particular synagogue, and you likely, in working in conjunction with them, saved a lot of kids' lives here. This guy had definitely been, you know, staking out this place. Congratulations. I don't know if you've spoken to the guy.
Yeah, Sean, the FBI runs these types of trainings across the country, and thankfully we were able to run a training to defend the innocent lives at that synagogue just weeks prior. And we're proud that they took that training. But they shouldn't have to defend themselves from attacks like this. We should be able to prevent them. And the way we do that is with stronger legislation that allows us to sentence criminals and terrorists to prison and jettison them from this country permanently.
These statistics are amazing. An incredible year, 2025. I know the challenges are great for the FBI. We're grateful to the, rank and file that put their lives on the line every day. FBI Director Kash Patel, thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.